Second point, Pradeep ji mentioned about 14 different verticals. I am leading one of the verticals. There is one more vertical called career guidance. This is a perfect vertical for students like you, because under this career guidance vertical, or COE, Center of Excellence, we provide assistance and guidance on choosing the right career path. Pradeep ji also mentioned in his opening speech that the situation has changed and the world has always been evolving. But in last 2 years, the kind of changes that we have seen in our lives, probably we had never thought of. It was never before and never again kind of situation. Never before. Why it is never before is because not even our fathers and forefathers actually had to face this lockdown kind of situation. In fact, we were not even introduced to the terminology called lockdown. And why never again is because we hope and pray that we never have to look this kind of situation again. But in this lockdown period of nearly 18 months or so now as we speak, and we don't know yet whether we may have to face another lockdown, but in this situation, lot of things and lot of parameters have changed. Lot of businesses have taken really a huge dent. Lot of businesses have actually changed their size and shape. People have started operating in a different style. But all these changes, like I said, the world has always been evolving. Throughout all these changes, what changes bring to us is to really create new opportunities. So probably there are new opportunities, there are new ways to look at it. The kind of professions which were available, let's say in our time or maybe your father's time, probably were limited. Okay, you can count on fingertips, and only those were the options available in terms of choosing the career. But today that is not the limitation, and that is something that if you are really keen on, to choose the right kind of career which suits your personality, which suits your genuine inborn talent, and the kind of skills that you have really um gathered over a period of time. Because skills is something that you are always learning. When we were born with only one skill and one resource, and that skill was only breathing skill. When breathing skill, when we came out of mother's womb, we did not know anything but just to breathe. That was the only skill that God had gifted us, and the only one resource which was available to you was time. Okay, if you can make use of this resource and the skills that you have picked up on the way while you are graduating or post graduating now, you can really find the kind of career that you really want to fall in love with. I think it was Apple's founder. He said once that it's always better to love the job you do, rather than you are getting a frustration of getting into something which you do not like. In terms of career guidance, there are 4 factors at an entry level when the decision is taken. When I say entry level, just assume a scenario where you are being interviewed by a panel of interview or a single interviewer. But generally, how the decision making, which is selection or rejection, how does it happen? It happens, in my opinion, on 4 counts. One is the kind of institute that you are coming from, because institute's reputation also matter. There are lots of institutes in India. In every single field, there are lots of institutes, and they are competing with each other. But at the end of the day, the reputation of institutes also matter. The next thing that matters in the decision of selecting or rejecting is performance on the day. How did you perform on that particular day of an interview? You probably may have been a ranker in past, but that doesn't matter if you really perform very shabbily and could not answer some of the key questions. Probably the final decision could be against you, not in favor of you. The third thing that interviewer typically sees in a fresher, okay, is about your potential. So maybe you probably are not up to the mark in all the questions that were asked or thrown to you, but somehow you were able to demonstrate that you carry a huge potential. So that is something that interviewer definitely, using his experience, he definitely determines that okay, this girl or a boy definitely has a potential, and it is quite useful. This person can be quite useful asset to my organization. So that can also be one of the decision points. And the third thing is, of course, the importance or the weightage is very small, but it's all about supply and demand. Sometimes organizations also take half cooked candidates, or candidates who are not really up to the mark, but just because the demand is very high on their side, there is a acute shortage of your kind of person. So sometimes they end up making that compromise. But like I said, the weightage is very small. People would definitely like to hire the people who are the best in the lot. So these are the four factors at the entry level. Now, of course, once you are successfully able to embark in any of the companies and start working for a company, there is a phase where you are being considered for elevation or promotion, as we call it. Okay, you will be given more responsibilities, your rank will change, your title will change, probably you will start leading the team. But in every elevation or promotion decisions, again there are four factors which come into picture. One is your alignment with an organization. I'll come to that slightly later. Another one is role fitness. So the role for which you are being promoted or being considered to be elevated, whether you will be fitting into that role or not. So there comes lot of aspects like leadership. Okay. Then there are core soft skills, communication, time management we talked about, your way of leading the team. Your leadership also is part of your core soft skills. So how good you are at those skills, and I'm talking about core soft skills and not all the soft skills. So your core competence is also something which is put under the scanner when you are being considered for promotion or elevation in any standard organization. And of course the consistency in your performance. Organization is always loving the people who are performing on a consistent basis, performance as a whole, as they say, not in parts. Okay, so if you perform today but then you are not able to perform the other next 2 weeks, or maybe you did one fantastic project but you failed on a couple of other smaller projects, probably there is a consistency which is lacking. So these are the four factors which are considered. I'll go back to the first point, which was about organization alignment. The consistency in performance probably gives you an upper edge. Maybe the weightage is high because you have been a consistent performer. But what if you are not aligned with organization's core objectives and their values? If you are not fitting into their culture, if you are the one who is found to be breaking the rules or taking the bypasses or taking the shortcuts or hurting somebody, or you are gaining or you are showing the performance at the cost of somebody else, probably that is not the right thing to do. So these are the things we actually try to focus when it comes to career guidance. And I'm just giving you a kind of snapshot right now. When we really interact with students, we go in much deeper level at an individual level also, so that we understand the personality in front of us, and then we are able to guide them. And this comes from highly experienced people, the people who have been HR people who have been into HR roles, people who have been in a very senior positions. Right.